Could you accept this ID? No. The reason you cannot accept this ID, as you can see over the picture, it's been creased, tattered, and torn. This ID may have been tampered with in some way. Forms of acceptable identification in Louisiana. Customers must show one of the following when asked to present identification for service: a state-issued driver's license from Louisiana or another state, including duplicates; a special identification card from Louisiana or another state. A special identification card from another state only applies to alcohol. A passport or visa issued by the federal government or any other country or nation. A military or federal ID issued by the federal government. All of the above forms of identification must be current and valid and must include a picture of the person presenting the ID, their date of birth. The above ID are not valid if they are defaced, expired, or altered. So how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Got some ID there?
Yes.
Your ID's expired, sweetie.
Oh. But I got the real ID though.
I understand that, but it's I got to see a valid ID. Expired ID is not valid. I can't serve you tonight until you get a valid ID.
Only this one time?
I can't. No.
No.
And I understand that. I appreciate it, but I can't. Not tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Get your ID replaced. Get back in here. Thanks, ladies. Have a good evening. As you know, Louisiana is a state that is a destination spot for visitors from around the world. In fact, Louisiana has over 12 million visitors a year. With those visitors, they will bring with them IDs from around the world. But the ID you probably will see most is Louisiana State driver's license or identification card. This style of driver's license has been issued for the last number of years and comes in a variety of classes: a regular, a CDL, chauffeur. And in 2014, this style began being issued. The Louisiana driver's license have unique features: color of header bar, type license text, and background match. A red bar draws attention to the driver's license number, class, and expiration date. A hidden UV shows the state seal. Fine line printing, digital signature, high quality digital photo, and a hologram of the state outline when tilted. And the driver's license that began to be issued in 2014 has the same features but has a ghost photo added to the left side of the ID. What form of identification is not acceptable? Louisiana has a special ID for persons under 21. The license is designed to help you, the server, know that the person cannot purchase alcohol, tobacco products. This is a license of the person who is under 21. Licenses issued to minors have many of the same features but have a vertical format. The license also will state under 21/18 until date to the right of the photo area, indicating when the cardholder will turn 18 and/or 21. This license is vertically oriented, which means up and down. Some unacceptable forms of identification includes a birth certificate, university ID, even though it has a date of birth and picture.
Serving alcohol and tobacco, digital identification. The Office of Alcohol and Tobacco Control, ATC, offers the following guidelines when accepting electronic identification for the purchase of alcohol and/or tobacco products. Number 1. LA Wallet is the only acceptable form of electronic identification. Number 2. It is at the discretion of each business whether they accept the digital ID. Number 3. Businesses required by ATC to utilize ID scanners must still request a physical ID if scanners are unable to read the digital ID. Number 4. If the person accepting the digital ID is unable to read it, it will be as if the licensee did not present a driver's license or ID at all. Number 5. All other rules and guidelines still apply when ensuring an individual is of legal age to purchase and/or consume alcohol and tobacco products. Tips for checking digital ID. Hands off, no touch. LA Wallet was designed so that anyone validating or verifying the information on the app could do so without handling the citizen's device. Thus, all interactive features are to be completed by the holder of LA Wallet and not by a law enforcement officer or employee of the establishment. Valid and invalid licenses. The validity of a license in LA Wallet can easily be determined by the green or red line across the top of the electronic license. This line will read valid or invalid, respectively. If the license has not been suspended, revoked, or been determined invalid for any other reason, the word valid will be displayed in green. Over 21, under 21 orientation. The age of the license holder can be determined by the orientation of the digital identification. For individuals over the age of 21, the license will be displayed horizontally. For individuals aged less than 21, the license will be displayed vertically as represented below. Refresh button. LA Wallet contains a refresh button that acts as an interactive safeguard. This button enables the holder to contact the DMV and revalidate the license, usually in less than 3 seconds. The time of the last update will be displayed next to the license above the refresh button. It is recommended that employee ask holders to refresh when presenting the digital ID for the purchase of alcohol and/or tobacco. View button. If the employee or law enforcement officer needs to view the license number more clearly, LA Wallet is equipped with a view button, which will then display driver's license number, date of birth, endorsements, and restrictions with respect to the holder. Security seal. If the employee or law enforcement officer requires further validation that the license is actually an LA Wallet, the user may be asked to show the security seal. The user can press and hold the license on the screen to reveal the security seal.